A lot of those transmembrane proteins are going to be receptors. All the receptor is a sensor, just like the sensor on a TV set. You got the remote control, you turn it. How do you turn it on from the remote? Well, because there was what? That signal that came from the remote that went to a what? A sensor on the TV. It detected it. It detected the signal. Isn't that right? And then that's what we have in our body. That's how incredible we are. Throughout our entire body, on certain cells, have those transmembrane proteins sticking out as what? Detectors. But we call them what? Receptors. You see that rhyme? Detector, receptor, okay. All right, yes. That's all they're doing is detecting, seeing what's going on. Oh, they're in the perfect place. Because do we not need to know? Don't we need to know what's going on with what type of fluid? So it's sticking right out there in the what? Extracellular fluid. Very good. See that? And that's what's always going to let us know what's going on in that what? Extracellular fluid. Receptors. So of course, the next step would be to find out if that stimulus changed our control condition, which is the internal environment. We'll have receptors that do what? Detect it. It's the receptors that pick it up. And there we go. We start there. Okay. Now, there's a system involved, typically, with homeostasis. Out of our 11 systems I said. How many systems did I say? Name one again. Which one I named earlier? Digestive system. What's another one? Nervous system. Now you know. But yes, cardiovascular system, all these things. But two of them are involved with homeostasis. It's two that are utilized by homeostasis so that this process comes to fruition. You're going to complete the process through two systems. Yeah? What's one of them? Yes! One system's the what? Endocrine, because he has a messenger in his system called a what? Oh, this is beautiful. Already in chapter 5. Yeah. All right. So, what's another one? Okay, nervous system. What's our messenger for nervous system? Neurons. Yes. Nervous system's messenger. Okay, is what? Neurons. Neurons. Look. Neurons create the longer portion of them. It's called the what? What's the longer portion of the neuron? An axon. We're going to get to that chapter. But that, when you have a whole bunch of them, collection of them, you can see them with the naked eye. See, with the cell, a neuron's a cell of the actual nervous system. Can we see cells with our eyes? Nobody sure about it? Some of them maybe, if they're big, can we see a cell? No. You can't see them with the naked eye. You have to use a what? There we go. So, but if you have a whole bunch of them together, all right, like this, a collection of that long portion, which is an axon, I'll come back to this later. But if we have a collection of them, it's called a nerve. Nerve, anybody heard of that? Yeah. I mean, you can actually see it with the naked eye in your body. Okay, then that's actually a nerve, a collection of them. A whole bunch of them. All right? So yeah, nerves, yes, that's what the signals are going to be actually what? Transported through. Okay? Signals, messengers, right? The message itself. Messages are going to be actually what? Commuted through either a nerve, if you're talking about the nervous system in our homeostatic process, or the what? Hormone is the messenger for the endocrine system. Right? These two systems, those are the two systems that are going to have a place. Their parts are going to be within the process of homeostasis. And this is the beginning of it. Receptor. All right? In this particular case, and the example I want to give, all right? The example I want to give first, for negative, it's a many of them. As we go through all of these different chapters, we'll always bring it up, right? But the one I want to give is blood pressure. Blood pressure is within the extracellular fluid, right? And it has to be at a certain range. Right? You got to have a certain range of it, right? Like I said Monday, if the pressure, right, is too low, what's the problem? You can't get what to what? Hey, you can't get what you need to tissue. Tissues need all those oxygen nutrients. If it's what? Too high, what's our problem? Nutrients and stuff get in the tissue, but what? Yeah, it's hitting the tissues too hard. Damage. Gotta have it right in the middle. Alright? Blood pressure's gotta be right. It's a good thing. Blood pressure's a good thing. Gets the oxygen nutrients everywhere. But if it's too high, that's a stimulus. That has changed your control condition. And who's gonna pick it up? Who's gonna pick up that I want you to talk about that word there. That's chapter 6 word. Chapter 6 word. Chapter 5 word, I'm sorry. What's that?
So
what's going to pick up, detect that you have a change in blood pressure? The receptor is, that's huge. Huge, okay? Different types of receptors, as we'll note in chapter 5. But here's one we're going to talk about that's a part of a nerve. Okay, what's a part of a neuron? Neurons have receptors, right? So when we look at actual what? Detecting blood pressure, we start with our neuron. We say, oh, he has on him, on a part of him, reaching out to find out what's going on with the extracellular fluid. He detects what? High blood pressure. And so now, what is he going to do? He's going to take that particular message of high blood pressure through a what? Nerve. And take it to the place that's going to make decisions. We call it the control center. Who makes decisions for you? Your brain. That's an example of a control. So there are different types of control centers we'll come across. But that one's, he's a major one. Nerves, that's their point. That's all they do. They're supposed to take information to the what? Boss. Boss makes a decision, and then the boss sends information by way of the same thing. A what? Nerve. To the place where he's going to make that difference and change. All right? That's all that is. Okay? Again, we had a stimulus, high blood pressure, detected by our receptor, that the control condition, that internal environment has changed. He takes information to our boss, the control center, that makes the decision and says, oh, this is what I know what to do with that blood pressure. This is what I know. I know exactly what to do. I've had this issue before. I can solve the problem. Takes that particular what answer through a nerve again to the actual structure that's gonna make the difference. And we look, what's it gonna be? If he makes a difference, that means he caused an effect. So we call those structures effectors. Doesn't it make sense? The effector, in this particular case, all right? And if I should take, let's say, if I take this guy right here, you see this guy? This is what you have in your body, these things. This is a bigger formula. But you have these guys in your body, these tubes. Yeah? And these tubes come from the heart. Yeah? What's that blood? What's that heart pumping? Blood, right? He's just pushing that blood to these guys. Yeah, that's what you have in you. You have within you a tree. Look. See this tree right here? Yeah, this is the heart. That's the pump. Pushes what? The blood to the what? Tree trunk. Is that right? And what does that tree trunk have? Branches, right? And what are those branches called? Arteries. Yeah. Yeah, just tubes. Arteries then take that blood to the what? To the tissue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be more specific, but right now we just say, yes, it's capillaries. But the main point is what? Yes, you have your tubes that take that what? Blood. That's what it's called. That fluid is called blood. And by the way, what kind of fluid is it? Is it intracellular fluid? It's inside the cell. It's inside a tube, right? It's an intracellular fluid. So what kind of fluid? It's a type. And that fluid of blood is called plasma, like you said. That blood has to be what? Pushed through the tube. And what we're looking at, if I should just take a transverse cut of it again, you like that transverse cut? Cut it, then you can see the inside of the tube, and you see that this actual lumen has a diameter, isn't that right? A diameter that's gonna change. Why? Because around the wall of this actual artery, this tube, is you have muscle. We got different muscles in your body. Right? Like this muscle I have here, right, is moving my what? Forearm, right? But it's under my what control? Right? What is it moving? It's moving your skeleton. The skeletal muscle. Okay? I have control of that muscle. But there's this other muscle, if you look at underneath the microscope, it's got this smooth appearance versus your skeletal muscle. It's smooth. We call it what kind of muscle? Out of your control. You don't have any control. Which is just like the muscle on your heart. That's called what? We just call it where it is. What is it? Cardiac. That muscle you have no control. Thank goodness, right? Because if you were asleep, would your blood get to where it has to go? Nope. That's okay. We like that fact. We like the fact that we can't control some muscle. The smooth muscle and cardiac. Okay? And in this particular case, you're going to think this process as well, because there's smooth muscle wrapped around this wall of this tube. Smooth muscle is going to be the effector. Smooth muscle around the what? Tube wall is going to be the effector. You know why? Because when he contracts, see, when I contract him, that pulls my forearm. When he contracts this smooth muscle, when he contracts, he takes this diameter, right, and decreases it. That's like Interstate 95. You know 495? Well, how many lanes is 495? That's about 4 or 5. It depends on where you are, right? But how's the traffic going there? With the 4 or 5 lanes? Yeah, that depends on time of day too. Yeah. But when it's not rush hour, right, it's going nice and smooth, right? Nice and smooth, good flow. Good flow. Versus, they do the construction, you know, they block off those 3 lanes. You only have what, two or 1 lane? How's that flow? Is that good flow? Same thing happens here, right? And as a result, if you go from that 5 lanes to 1 lane, right? If you do that, what does that do with pressure of blood? If I have here, right, a nice little what? Nice large diameter, but then it goes to what? Smaller. Blood pressure has what? Increase. See? I call that, because it's a vessel, right? This is a vessel. But because that diameter gets smaller, it's been constricted. So I just call vessel, vasoconstriction. Okay, when you go from that 5 lanes to 1 lane, what does that go? Vaso what? Now, I can't fit the rest of it, you get it. All right, but, so basically, however though, right, you can put 2 and 2 together here, right? It's simple, right? If you actually go from 1 lane or 2 lanes to 5 lanes, nice flow, what's our blood pressure going to do there? So we call that vaso what? We call that vasodilation. Because what you did to the vessel was you dilated. Diameter increased, you dilated it. Yeah. Our brain knows about this. That's why he just, as soon as he got the message, as soon as he received information of high blood pressure, because he's grandiose, you know. And I know everything. Says, I know what to do with this, because I've seen it before, right?